Welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, powered by the Charleston American Marketing Association and broadcasting from our home at Charleston Radio Group. Thanks to CRG, we're able to talk with the movers and shakers of Charleston, from economy to art, from hospitality to tech, and everything in between. These leaders have made a home here in the Lowcountry. They live here, they work here, they make change here. Why? Let's talk about it.
Hello and welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, powered by the Charleston American Marketing Association. We're recording in the Charleston Radio Group studios, big supporters of CAMA. Got to give a shout out to Charleston's favorite DJ, Jerry Feelsgood, with the beats at the beginning. Thanks to all our supporters. Mike Compton here, co-founder and president of Roombo Advertising, and your incoming, right, Margaret? Incoming president for the Charleston American Marketing Association. I have a guest co-host today. Say what's up, Margaret.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Margaret, and I am the current CAMA president.
Doing a great job, by the way, Margaret.
Thank you very much.
Crushing it. When is that done, by the way?
So you will be taking over July 1st, 2025.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that, for sure.
And I'm the founder of Carolina Creative Marketing, and we're very excited to have Brae Richardson here with us today.
What's up, Brae? Say
Hi.
hello.
Hey, I'm excited to be here.
Brae, you know, I was thinking we don't need to read your bio right now.
Yeah,
right?
we don't
That's
have to do that.
kind of like
Yeah.
rookie,
Yeah.
rookie podcast 101. Your bio will be in the show notes.
Okay, cool.
Well, typically we do this. Typically we read the bio in front of you, and it's kind of weird. But you know what?
Yeah,
It's 2025.
Let's avoid the weird.
It's 2025.
Yeah.
Avoid the weird. First of all, you're sitting next to me. I have a tendency to get weird. So
It's okay.
I
It's okay.
do apologize
It's okay.
about that. Ask my wife. She thinks I'm always weird. Awkward, I think, is the word she uses. But anyhow, Brae, what do you do? Introduce yourself. What do
God.
you do? Who is Brae Richardson?
Are we going to get deep or like high level? Okay.
Let's start high level, then we'll dig.
I like to say I'm a creative. My name is Brae Richardson. I am the brand and creative manager for Charleston Wine and Food. I like to
Let's
say
repeat that for the people in the back.
My name is Brae Richardson. I am the brand and creative manager for Charleston Wine and Food.
Brand and creative manager
Yeah.
for this Giants loved festival here in Charleston.
Yes. Charleston Wine and Food.
Nice.
Yeah.
When is the festival?
So the festival is every first week, full week in March. So this year it's March 5th through 9th, 2025. So we're coming up, we have like less than 2 months.
And did I see that you launched ticket sales online?
Yeah, we launched in October. And like I always tell people, I know it says sold out, but like there's a wait list for that. So if you cannot get them, when you want to like check back, there's a wait list. But we still have a lot of really great events listed on the website.
Mm-hmm.
The day party is my fave. The Culinary Village is like this historical, everybody loves it. That's been around for years. So, but yeah, tickets are on sale now. So we're excited. We're gearing up.
Love it.
This is our Super Bowl. So
Well, thanks for etching out some time for us right now.
I'm excited.
I mean,
I've been resting for the last 2 weeks, so thank you for getting me
Have
out
you?
the house. Yeah,
All
I've been
right,
on the
cool.
couch, watching Grey's Anatomy like I've never seen it before. It's wild times.
What about you, Margaret? What have you been watching?
Mike, I don't watch.
Oh
I don't have the attention span for TV or movies.
She's either
I wish I
baking
did.
or piccing up the Airbnb that you have?
Yeah,
downtown,
Airbnb.
Or pimping out a Santa Claus.
I love that. I love
Keeps
to hear
me
that.
busy.
What did the Santa Claus bring in? What's the revenue the Santa Claus brought in for you?
That's a great question. Yeah, if anyone anybody listening who needs a Santa Claus for next year, reach out to me.
Do you hire someone?
I have a guy that I work
She's got a
with who
guy.
actually.
She's got a guy.
So for all of our listeners, I didn't find out until this morning that Brae was going to be here on the podcast today, and it turns out we actually met. What was it? 5-6 years ago?
Yeah,
probably.
I think I've been in Charleston for like 10 years.
Okay,
but
maybe even longer.
Maybe even longer.
But when I was the marketing director for David Ayler Law Offices, we worked together.
Yeah, we were babies.
Yeah,
we were the young bucks and just outside.
Yeah,
Like we were the real outside, the real OG King Street.
Oh, is that right? Talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We were. We
go
knew
way
what
back.
nightlife was back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Oh, copy that. Okay. Did you ever run into my buddy Feelsgood?
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
DJ
And you know, often like he'll randomly see me and shout me out on the mic, and they're like,
No
"Oh my
kidding.
God!" I'm like, "I see cred, still got street cred, still got street cred." Yeah,
Love
so I
it.
definitely know Jerry, but
Well, it's not like you're ancient, anyways. Right now, like
not ancient.
when you were
But
coming up in the Charleston, you were probably young. Where are you from?
so I actually grew up in Charlotte, so I like to say that I'm from Charlotte, but I was born in Charleston, so. Got some history here. My father and my mother are born and raised here. I call them Burke babies, so they went to Burke High School. My grandfather was involved in one of the first like Burke sit-ins. So I don't know if you guys go to the museum, but you'll see that. So
Okay.
I got some history here, but this is like my first like 10 years actually living in Charleston. So grew up in Charlotte. I always say that I'm from Charlotte. I love Charlotte, but yeah. So I have some family ties here, but.
Do you know that we're big in Charlotte?
I didn't know that.
The podcast gets a lot of downloads in Charlotte.
Charlotte?
The number one downloads we get is Mount Pleasant.
Hmm.
And then we got Charlotte and Charleston, like tied.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
sometimes Charlotte etches out Charleston.
I could see that.
Our own
It's a city.
namesake, for crying
Yeah.
out loud. But we love the people in Charlotte.
They're
so
good.
give a
They're
shout
good
out
people.
to
I love them. That's my like getaway space when I need a second. But yeah.
I have to get there. I have yet to get to Charlotte.
You haven't been to Charlotte?
Well, okay.
You've been
know,
to Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a quick
you
3-hour
should have seen the
drive.
look she shot at.
I was like, but why?
I just haven't. I moved here in 2019 from Tampa.
Okay.
Did that Tampa for 18 years, but from Detroit. But just haven't had the chance. Well, let's talk about 2020, right? Didn't really get much to do there.
we didn't.
I still feel like I'm a tourist in my own town right now.
2020 was rough.
The 2 years of COVID and the 2 years of cancer, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm ready to get out and explore a little bit. Charlotte's on my list. Greenville
Greenville is nice.
Yeah.
is
I
on
just
my
hate
list.
driving there, but
Yeah.
we
So,
don't talk about 2020 enough, man. Like the
I'm ready for-
masks, the lane reversals in the grocery store, the Lysoling your groceries after you get them. Like that was a hard time.
Some weird shit.
It was like, whoa, and you didn't know. No one knew anything.
I know. I was just in the airport going up to Detroit to visit some family, and I was just thinking to myself, what was it like for those 2 years
Yeah.
traveling?
Yeah.
And then
I
look
still
at
wear
us
my
now.
mask in the airport.
So we're just spitting all over the
Yeah.
place. all over
I'm
each
still
other.
like a mask girly in the airport.
Are you? Smart.
Oh yeah.
See, I see that.
But every
I know.
time my boyfriend, like, we'll travel to Vegas. Like we went to see Usher like 2 years ago or something,
Nice.
and he got sick. And I never get sick, but every time we travel, he's always sick. And I'm like,
Yeah.
should have worn your
It's
mask.
the airports.
It's the airport.
It's the airports. It's
But
the
yeah.
people. So you're from Charlotte. You moved here. You have
Yeah.
some roots here, which is really, really cool. Because I think that's what Charleston's about is
Yeah.
the history and just the love of where we are from, like where you're from.
Yeah.
Here. I'm not from here. I'm from Detroit. But I can see the people's passion for Charleston.
Oh yeah.
Charlestonians love their Charleston.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
You cannot mess with Charleston. Like it, I always say like local has an impact here, but like I know there's some big like restaurants that would come here, they just don't survive because people are like not messing with it. Like
Cracker Barrel shut down. How does Cracker Barrel shut
because
down?
there's a local person for that. Like
lots of local people.
so
and they
it's
they do the better
that do it
product.
better
Mhm.
and give you smiles and know your name.
Mm.
So
So you don't love what you do then?
I hate it. I'm just kidding. I love it. I love it. I love it. I really feel like, Margaret and I are talking about just like those 10 years ago that we met. Like I felt like that set me up for just my trajectory in my career.
What were y'all doing back then?
We were being young professionals.
No, job wise.
Oh,
specifically.
I was the event coordinator for Republic at the time. And then Margaret was
The marketing
doing all
director
the marketing,
for David
like,
Taylor Law
yeah.
Offices.
Okay.
And so I think both of us, we were doing so much in the community.
Yeah.
Which is what's really cool to see what we're doing now because we're still, we
doing
spent
it.
so much
Yeah.
time.
and like I guess like paving the way
Yeah.
for our career and just like making sure that we make those connections and connecting with people. I don't
Right.
think it was necessarily I think that's really the important thing as you build your career is just like making connections
Mhm.
and remembering people's names.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people
It's
don't remember
amazing.
your name nowadays.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
many
like
people
that.
I still talk to from 10 years ago
Yeah.
that I connected with that've been pivotal in my
Yeah.
marketing career.
Or I think it's also important, something that I feel like I built my brand on, and just like I love to connect people. I love plugging people in, but I don't need anything back.
Right.
Like I think that's important, and I feel like that's when you have those full circle moments, and you're always going to see somebody that you saw 5 years ago.
I
But
feel like I'm the OG of that
it's
train
important.
of thought because I'm a little bit older than you guys, probably a decade or two, and I've loved that train of thought.
Yeah.
Like just give,
You don't need nothing
community,
back.
build community, give,
Yeah.
and then somehow, some way, you'll get back. You might not be able to monetize it right away.
Yeah, but
I love that
it
advice.
always
And
comes
being
back.
in a city like Charleston, we're kind of a small, big city,
Mhm.
big, small city. It really does come back.
Yeah. So, but yeah, to your question, so started at Republic, and then there was a GM. Do you remember Evan? You remember Evan?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I always give him a shout out because he really like made me fall in love with wine, and he would I would intern for Evan and then go to work at Republic, and then all the things, like it was like a whole thing. But he really shaped my love for wine and food and pairing and all the things. And what I also respect from him is he was a male figure that didn't want anything from me. He genuinely wanted me to learn and grow. And so, being a woman in the business, it's like those things it's a lot. It's hard. But he didn't want anything. He just wanted to teach me. He wanted me to grow and learn. And he still will come to events that I have, and I see you. So
That's cool. So
very cool.
was it almost like a training?
No.
Sommelier type of thing?
Kinda. I mean, I would say yeah, but Evan had me do everything from I call it interning to putting in orders, or hey, I need you to go to Krug is having a tasting, you need to go. You want to learn about it? He would put me in those rooms. So I would say it was kind of like a training, but I did all the things.
Kind of setting you up for success right now.
Yeah. So it was really pivotal and impactful for me, and
Margaret, did you know Brae and the wine?
So I don't know if you know this, but I actually worked as a wine portfolio manager for 3 years before I kind of started my own company.
know that.
And so
Everybody loves
very
wine.
passionate as well about wine and food.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Girl, you have really lived. I did not know that at all.
She's an onion, Brae. I
Right.
still, every time I talk to her, there's something new or something old that I haven't learned about.
But it's a fun world, wine
Yeah.
and food.
Yeah.
And
Wine
It
and
really
food
is.
is so just
That's good.
sexy, right?
It's sexy.
Too. It's just the wine part of it, and then just the food that you eat is just, you get all of the feels when you eat the right food paired with the right drink in the right spot at the right, and
Yeah.
y'all do I said y'all, so stop it. Do an incredible job. How do you step up year after year after year, and how much pressure is that on you and your team to make sure that it's a top notch? Because this isn't just, you're not throwing one show. This isn't a one show pony. You have one trick pony, whatever. You have how many events going on in the 3 or 4 day period?
Yeah, so I mean, we're at about 80 something. It's funny too, because we were supposed to downsize this year. So the year before we did 100+ events. Now we have
What?
85+ events, so we're downsizing. But
Keep it simple. I like
it's
it.
still,
Yeah. Mhm.
but there are an array of events. So there, you have your wine lovers where you have your beverage workshops. You have your food lovers where you have your hands-on classes where you can learn from some great local chefs to make things.
Mhm.
You have your culinary village, which we call an adult playground. It's wild and fun, and then you have your signature events. So, I mean, in terms of pressure, for me, I'm an advocate of if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we have some really great things that we've done for years, and so I always advocate we just gotta make sure that we're doing those key added touches to just make sure that the guest experience is where it needs to be. But we try to stay on top of trends and things like that, but we also have some good things that we don't need to fix all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think COVID, for example, is one of those things of let's take it back to the basics. Let's focus on community first.
Right.
So that that era, that year definitely taught us something too. But
Crazy. What year is this? How old is
so
this?
this'll actually be the 20th. So next year will be the 20th festival, but this is the 20th year as an organization. So yeah, we're working on the 20th now.
So the wheels grease. You guys have a great plan and ahead. And then to your point, you just kind of just make sure it's polished every year.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
and
cool.
next year being the 20th festival, you want to bring in the OGs, you want to bring in the people who started the thing. So we're literally doing focus groups and talking to past executive directors and all the things. And It's been really interesting because I obviously haven't been there all those years, but it's interesting to see like the thought process and the why. And I feel like our mission has always stayed the same. We're a nonprofit. And initially we were established to just bring Charleston on the map. And I feel like we've done that, but now we're kind of getting more in the focus of like, we have a culinary and hospitality investment fund. Cool. We have externships. We work with like local high schools and do all those things. So it's changed and progressed. But
so I know you said, Margaret, please jump in anytime.
I was gonna say I love how you mentioned getting Charleston on the map, and it's amazing year after year to see how many people are now traveling here for this event. Mm-hmm. What do you see in terms of locals going to the Wine and Food Fest versus?
So we definitely have a lot of out-of-towners. Like we work with a lot of local hotels to ensure that we have like rates and things like that for people that are visiting. But it is a major percentage of out-of-towners. But then locals, we definitely try to do. We have Locals Day in the Village. So at a discounted rate, you're able to purchase a ticket. And that's Sunday in the Culinary Village. But we try to
my favorite day.
Yeah. Do you go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We gotta connect.
I know.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to go.
But yeah, I mean, and we in terms of like chef and beverage talent too, like we really try to ensure that we're like focusing on those mom and pops, and there is some synergy where we bring out of town talent if it works right. But I would say we have a huge percentage of out of towners, but we definitely have a good percent of local too. I mean, I've met people who've gone since 20 years. Like, wow. Yeah, and it's been crazy, but
too
that's
cool.
Amazing. And then, so how are you selecting who you're working with in terms of the restaurants and chefs?
I mean, so where it starts is I have a unique role. I don't necessarily do the programming, but from the brand perspective, I make sure or help our programming team ensure that like it aligns, whatever event that we do aligns with our branding. But it starts off actually with programming. So we program the event. So we come up with an event concept. Mm-hmm. We literally do like 2 days back to back, like literally writing sticky notes on the wall and like, is this lame? Yes. Is this cool? Yes. Like we are like huddled as a group. We work with our programming team, which is our food and then our beverage. And then from there, we kind of like say, is this local restaurant fit with this fit with this event? Yes. And then we really try to focus on like the up and comers and then just like, people who've been here and really like, I'm trying to think. We did an event a couple years ago, Matriarchs of the Low Country. And that was like paying homage to just the Black women who did so much in the food component in Charleston. So we've done things like that. So we really try to like, I guess, focus on like who's up and coming and then really like those OGs and mom and pops and give love to everyone in the area.
I've been to one event as a vendor.
Oh.
The Transformation Table event was Tina Singleton.
I love her. So when I first, it was a few years ago, I was a part of like her dinner series.
Sure. Yeah.
And then we did the community table event.
Yep. That community table event. Yeah. We do creative content and video production.
I feel like that's where I feel like I remember.
Maybe you may have seen me shaved a little bit more. Yeah. I don't know. Running around with a camera.
That's an example of like someone that I met in the past, and I was like, we have this idea, but I can't not bring you to it.
So did you connect?
Yeah, like
the community table is kind of your idea too. Like, did you help connect that?
Yeah, because
that's awesome.
That was her brainchild, like Transformation Table. So I was like, we can't do something similar and not bring the person.
Right. Yeah. So Transformation Table listeners is Tina Singleton's baby. Transformationtable.org, I think.
Yeah, I think we
can shout out anybody around here, right? This is our show, and we shout out nonprofits, especially like Tina's, because she curates chefs. And they go and have dinner at people's homes. People, not just like, celebrities, but actual people's homes.
Yeah.
Have strangers come into their homes and have dinner. And it's culturally diverse on purpose. And you're not going to sit next to the person that you came with.
Yeah. It's really cool.
And that's very intentional. And they talk about the food, and it's usually, she's in Afghan right now. She's in Afghanistan right now.
Yeah.
But it's usually unbelievable food from hand-picked chefs, similar to what you guys do, but she does it on a very small scale. And then what they did was they partnered with
Wine and
food.
before
Thank you.
food.
Wine before food. Woo. Wine before food. You think? Glad I asked, right?
Yeah.
She got hot there for a second.
I was like,
the Wine and Food Fest. They partnered and had 100-person dinner at the same table. All 100 people are sitting at this table. Culture diverse, handicap, like whatever, like wheelchair people, like there. It was amazing, and it's just the conversations that were had were.
It's like a really good experience. Like if you're
Sounds
able
amazing.
to, it's really good.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Really
I was really proud of the Wine and Food Fest for having that.
Yeah, it was a hard, like, because technically where we were, it was owned. I forgot
We were outside.
Yeah,
too, really.
Yeah,
cool.
but it's like a government.
Yeah,
it was like a whole thing. It was a lot. It was
park
a lot.
that we were at.
Yeah,
it was by the aquarium.
Yeah,
and that little park right there. I'm sure the logistics. I can only imagine the logistics that y'all have to go through.
Yeah, logistics are fine.
Oh,
Yay, logistics.
But your brand stuff, right? Like you don't touch any of that stuff.
No, not really.
Lucky
I
you.
mean, like again, from a brand perspective too. Like I am very involved in like, we made certain statements years ago, like we wouldn't have events at certain spaces. So I ensure like, okay, is this location in alignment with our brand?
Sure.
Things like that.
Yep. Some input.
Yeah. And then, sometimes logistical stuff, it just doesn't make sense, but I don't really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those things.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you have I know you're a one-woman team as the marketing department, but you do outsource, I'm sure, obviously, creative and all that. What about the other team, like the full Wine and Food Fest team? Like, how big is that? And then when do you start planning for the next year?
Yeah, so honestly, it's about 8 of us on the team. But
that's so small.
We're small but mighty, but we contract out. So we have anywhere from event producers, logistic team that we contract. But they're not really in the beginning stages. So we literally take a year to plan the festival. So when we finish in March, like we do a recap for we call it going dark. So we have like 2 weeks where we just like decompress, and then we literally start the thing over again. And we take our learnings and things that worked and didn't work from this past festival, and we try to get better, but we literally like hit the ground running and we start all over. And then my role is I develop our new creative campaign for the year, like whatever the creative is going to be.
Who comes up with that?
Typically I do. I try to bring in my programming team. So again, they have the food component, the beverage component, just to make sure that we're diverse in that department. But we launch that. We do like a photo shoot, big like photo shoot in July, and then we launch it like August, and then October. Tickets are back on sale,
and then things sell out the next day.
God willing, you never know what's gonna happen.
Every time I try to get on something, it's sold out for sure. But that's just amazing. That just says.
But see, that's that like longevity where you have people who've been going for 20 years and like they know, what they kind of know what to look for, and this
tickets go out.
Yeah.
They have it on their calendar.
They have it on their calendar. We release the schedule at a certain time.
Every year, same time.
Every year, like at least.
When do you release, just so the listeners know?
So 11 a.m. That's doesn't ever change just because we have, but it's always going to be 11 a.m. And then, so I can't say this year, but typically we do it like Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we try to do the schedule release first, and then Thursday we'll do the tickets on sale. That way you can like map out what you want to do and like choose your adventure, so to speak.
Sure.
But yeah, we have some people who are like on the website, like hawking it. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. Which shout out to our website team because they get a lot of traction, but it's been fun.
I bet.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Margaret?
So earlier when we were in the conference room, we were talking a little bit about pivoting within marketing.
Yeah.
And especially with, I'm sure, event marketing, there's a lot of pivot that you have to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, pivoting. I mean, it's no secret we had to do some moving around of the festival and the 2024 festival. So I would say that was like a major pivot. We relied on like a meteorologist literally to decide.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. It's like, what's going to happen? Jim,
Rob Fowler?
Well, we had Jim, and then we had from Live 5. I can't think of his name right now.
I forget his name too. Sorry.
Sorry. You're amazing. We love you. I was going to do I'm a Bravo girly, so I love Bravo, so I was going to do like a Bravo line, but it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it.
We had Olivia Flowers on the show. We
Really?
did. Yeah, we did. And Tina Singleton.
I'm more so like a Housewives Bravo, like OG. Yeah.
Oh.
No one else.
That's all I got.
I can't do it.
That's
it was so not appropriate.
Well, there's a line? What?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Margaret, you don't watch Bravo?
I know. I can't relate. I can't chime in on this conversation.
Okay, great. But yeah, back to pivoting. So we just didn't know what was going to happen. We tried to follow all the things, but pivots are going to happen. But I think that it's really important to at least, plan. So a part of my role, I also managed social media. And so like I had all the things written up. I had all communications ready to go just in case. And unfortunately during that time I was dealing with a death. So like I didn't know if I was going to be there or not. So I had to really trust in my team. I had someone I contract to do social media, and I was like, hey, plan A is this and plan B is this. And like, let's just stick to the plan. And when we say go, like, I need you to release it. But it's not just social media. So I also do all of our email marketing. So I really, we literally had to dedicate time to just pivot and plan. And then you ask for grace because we're human and we're not going to get it right all the time. And then there is going to be like some sort of audience that, we forgot to send it to you, talent. That may have not happened, but like just ask for grace and, set yourself up for success. Like we have SMS marketing and all these things. So, I mean, it was something I've truly never experienced. I even think about the finale. So we had to move it like literally hours before. And, you're dealing with chefs that like are bringing in their trailers of like their pits and all the things. And like, again, that was a space where we asked for grace. And then literally what was most beautiful about that, like we moved it, Snyder Event Company, they have like this backlot, acres of like land. And they were like, just come have it here. And everybody was working, from our volunteers to our talent to like my mom was on the ground, like, all these people were just chipping in to make this thing go. But it really was like beautiful at the end of it because it was like a celebration of community. So, I mean, pivot is the main thing, but give yourself grace and breathe. And it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Yes. We're not dealing with like surgery.
Right.
Just, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like.
So you literally have a plan B for everything.
And this year, like, we have a plan C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah. Once you go through that once, it kind of you learn from it. You realize, what can we do?
All 20
next
years,
year,
it's never happened.
No kidding.
All 20 years.
I remember hearing that.
It's crazy. Never happened. So like opening night, we usually have it at the Cistern. But like if it rains, we're gonna be at TD Arena. Like we literally have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like.
And those plan Bs, they want deposits too, don't they?
Yeah. So, yes.
Am I getting into the weeds here a little bit with you? But
so give grace. And I think too, like, we were very transparent too. So we had to be transparent. But like, even like the village, like I told y'all, we were off air. I was explaining to them that we move in to the village, which is our culinary village, like at least 2-3 weeks beforehand. You can't just pick that up and move it somewhere,
Right.
So it's like
your base camp, right?
Yeah,
it's
like, people are bringing in things and structures have to be built. So yeah, we learned a lot, and we, I think it's funny. Some of our team doesn't like to talk about it, but I'm a feels girl, so I'm like, we have to talk about it. Like, but I think we grew closer as a team.
Sure.
I've never seen people cry before that I saw cry, so that was like, wow. Like we're in this, but it was a beautiful but sad but beautiful.
Everybody changed a little bit after that experience.
Yeah.
Everybody,
yes. Oh yeah.
Turned up, turned down, whatever
like,
the change was.
Yeah, everybody changed.
That's wild.
And like I said, I was like trying to be the positive one, and I was going through something personally, so I was like, I am like, y'all are crazy.
You had a lot going on.
I had a lot.
You had some moments.
Yeah,
but that's when it's so important to have a team you trust.
Yeah,
that will be by your side,
and it's important to communicate.
Absolutely.
I'm very I'm a person, like, I'm happy to talk about my feelings, but like everybody doesn't need to know my business, so I'm like, I may not tell you everything. Sure. But like that was a time where I was like, hey, I am struggling and I'm in the corner crying right now. I'm be good in 5 seconds, but like I want to let you know I'm struggling, so I need you to intervene, and I trust you to do it. So like, yeah, it was a time, but I think like communication was a beautiful word of the of that time.
You seem to be good at that.
Yeah, I think so.
You seem to be a good communicator. We just met.
Yeah, I tried to be. I mean, this is also years of therapy, you know.
Sure.
I believe in the therapist. I think the therapist is great. So this is
mental health.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, sometimes you're like you're like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
F it. I don't want to talk to y'all. I just gonna do my own thing. But yeah.
Good for you.
I try to.
Who chooses the chefs for the Wine and Food Fest?
I think it's like, I wouldn't say a choosing thing. It's not on me, so don't anyone come at me. But we have a programming team who like literally, like I said, like they look at trends, they make sure that we have a good like percentage of local folks that are participating. Right. We try to give love to the mom and pops. I mean, and then from there, once we kind of like choose the chef or the talent, we call them talent, that are participating, we ask them like, is there anyone that you'd like to bring out of town to collaborate with, and like if it's like synergistic and it makes sense.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say like, you know, I think it kind of develops from that programming concept that I was mentioning. So we start from the programming phase of like what the event concept's going to be, and then from there they kind of like, oh, this person will be great for this. We did like a excursion a couple years ago with Tia. Are you familiar with Tia Clark? She's local. She has casual crabbing with Tia, where she like teaches you how to crab and all the things. Ooh. And like we had, you know, event concept, not necessarily around her, but like it was synergistic to invite her. So things like that, like really kind of like, I love our programming team because they are in it with the trends.
That's
and
curious.
who's new.
Yeah. That could be a whole other episode.
It could be cool. Yeah. I mean, there's Jenna and Anil, and they are like, they're bomb at what they do, and I really appreciate them too because they think from such a diverse lens, which I think is important. And I think you know, the world is changing, right? And I think they always try to think from a lens of like teaching others and teaching our, you know, our audience. And you know, if we're able to do that, I think they try to do that for sure. But they're pretty cool.
I mean, they do an amazing job.
And it's so nice for, you know, it's so beneficial for Wine and Food to be able to promote these smaller up and coming restaurants and chefs. And it's beneficial because the guests are able to be introduced to them. Then it's so great for those up and coming restaurants because they're able to kind of get their name out there. And it's just
been really cool. Like we've
such a great impact on the community.
Able to have, you know, people on platforms like we work with Today Show, you know, all these things, and we're able to kind of like give them that platform. And it's really, really beautiful to see. And it's like one of the things that I get, you know, excited about. Like we've had Duke's Mayo come into town and we've collaborated with them. Or collaborating with them, you know, this year as well. Like local TV stations will hit me up like, do you have a chef? And like I'm able to like plant that seed, so it's pretty cool.
And then on the wine side of things, do you work a lot with the winemakers and the
Anil he handles that component, but we definitely do work with a lot with winemakers, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun, and it's also like everybody's passionate about their baby, and so you're able to hear people's stories.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was one of my favorite things about working in the wine industry is the people that I got to meet and the stories and wine and food. Yeah, it's just such an art.
Like that's why I think it's important, like because it's, you know, your community, you're creating community, you're having conversations you wouldn't normally have with people. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, that's what I was talking about, all the feels when it comes with food and the experience and the wine and the, you know, slight buzz maybe. We in the village we do have our zero proof garden, so we have a lot of which
NA
is
options
growing every year.
Yeah, so have you offered that for all 20 years, or did
last year was our first year that we did it in the village, that we had the zero proof garden, we call it, and we do have like NA options on, you know, different festival blueprints, but it's that was like our first time in the village, and it's interesting to see. That's definitely like a trend.
I hope it's more than a trend, right? I hope it's trending up, which you say, but I hope it's like a cultural shift, if you will, where you know, I'm a drinker, right? But sometimes, you know, I might not want to drink, and I don't want to talk about not having a drink.
You don't need it,
right. Yeah. And you don't need it. You're having a blast. Maybe you get a gummy. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, you don't need a booze, right? I better get the FBI at my door here. The South Carolina catch up.
Oh my gosh,
but it is. I mean,
a whole different podcast. It's like crazy.
I see mocktails as options more and more, and just working in the industry, you know, there are so many more options for non-alcoholic beers, and mocktails are on every menu, which it's just so nice to have. That
It's beautiful to see.
I appreciate it too, being, you know, now 2 days into dry January.
Oh, you're gonna do dry? Are you doing it?
I'm whole 2 days in.
How you feel?
It got amazing. Got over my New Year's hangover yesterday, so yeah, I'm feeling great.
What's your why in your dry January?
It's just a nice time of year to kind of have that reset.
Okay.
You're going into the year, and it's a good time to do it because it's just kind of a slow month in general, work-wise a little bit, and it's good to,
Are you doing it, Brae?
No, I'm not doing it. I like what he's doing it. That like I'm like cool, but like
he is. Okay.
I'm also I don't drink during the week. I try not to drink during the week, and then like Saturday if I want to indulge, that's like my thing. So I'm like, life be happening. I might want to have a glass of wine. So I'm not going to put that pressure on myself.
Set yourself
you know,
up.
like I already like I feel like I do the things. I eat clean. I work out. I'm on the Peloton. Like no, but no disrespect to people who do. Like when you do, I'm like, oh, that is. I love it.
Yeah, love that for you.
He like gets like really like no. I'm like okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, this is my third time doing dry January, and I have not successfully.
Really?
I mean, maybe once or twice. Like it's tough when you're doing
partner.
event marketing and you're out and about all the time. But I'm not so strict where I'm like, okay, I'm out, and if I want a glass of wine, then sure. Yeah. But it's definitely more of the mindset of, okay, it's a new year. I'm gonna.
No, I love that. Yeah. I love that. I love that for you.
So besides the pivot, and Margaret, I'm gonna take some of your questions here. What's the most proud of in an activation or a campaign that you guys came up with? I mean, I know you're only 5 years into it, but within that 5 years, I feel like you've grown a lot and done a lot.
Yeah, I think my goal when I started with Charleston Wine and Food was so I'll give you like personal, you know, I'm a Black woman. It's pretty obvious.
Not for the listeners, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, we're on, yeah.
But I think it's so important to see yourself in things, right? And so that was something that I was like, I just want to ensure that people see themselves, whether it be like, it doesn't have to be black and white, but like different shapes and sizes. And like, even when I call like the models that I may use in campaigns talent, but even when I try to select different talent, like it's very important that there's different shapes and sizes and shades and ethnicities. And, you know, we've just different gender, all these things. Like, I think it's really important that people see themselves in things because that's how you can relate and that's how people want to be a part and that's how you create community.
100%.
So that's like been the biggest thing that's really, really important for me. And I take pride in that, and I take pride in like just having hard conversations. Like we've had hard conversations with people who are like, I'll never work with you guys. I'm like, I work here. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm willing to talk, you know? So I think those things are important. Those have been the things that have meant the most to me.
Love it.
Because I mean that, you know, I think too, like you've been in the game for a long time. Not everybody's your friend, but I think if you're willing to have like a conversation and have conversations and like, you know, talk to people and so I think those are like my proudest moments.
I got a couple of ideas for 2025 for us.
Okay.
Brae.
What's the idea?
As a team.
Okay. We're a unit.
Right?
We are now a unit.
Already. I mean, an hour ago.
Love it. Like, girl, now I'm gonna be on you. Now I'm gonna be on you.
Love it. Please do. It would be awesome to have you at a sunset session.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yes.
What is a sunset session?
Well, it's a new thing.
Oh my
it's a new
God.
thing.
Coming soon.
Gosh, I gotta tell me off air.
No, it is. You can do. Yeah, it's going to be. We're simplifying things, so it's going to be more of a panel.
This is from the programming side
within
the
programming
AMA
side for the Charleston
events.
American Marketing Association. Sorry,
I'm just saying because you got to know before you sign up for stuff. I'm just.
Oh no, you're fine. I got you. You're good. Just sign right here.
Yeah.
So I think that would be an amazing thing for us to do. And then I don't know, just keep in touch, right? Just like
I think it's
have you maybe on the team one of these days.
Let me know.
We're always looking for board members. We're always looking
I'm always open.
The smart people.
I'm always open.
And then so you talked about Margaret. Ask a question, will you?
So I have a question. We work a lot now with College of Charleston, and so many of our members too are, you know, we have people looking to make career changes, and with College of Charleston students looking to get into event marketing or event creative. What would be your advice for getting involved? And
yes, please.
And
Charleston
just kind of, What was that?
Or Charleston Wine and Food, or just event marketing?
Kind of both.
Oh.
Just if they're exploring the events marketing.
Everybody wants to work for you. I'm sure you get a lot of resumes.
Yeah, but like we actually work with the cohort students at College of Charleston. But I would say in event marketing, like do the dirty stuff. Like people they're not trying to get their hands dirty. And I think the thing that I say all the time about my job, I think it like looks cute, like it's cutesy, like, but it's not. Like I work my butt off to get here.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still am working my butt off. So I would say do the dirty stuff, the hard stuff.
What's an example of a dirty?
I'll give an example at Republic. Like I didn't start out the gate like being the event coordinator. I was a server.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yep.
I was VIP hosting, like, and that really like gave me the art of sales, because I'm gonna sell you the $5,000 bottle, and you're gonna pay for it, and we're gonna be happy together.
Yeah,
you're gonna sign, and because I was so great, you're gonna tip more than 20%.
Love it.
And you build those connections while you're doing that. You're out and about serving. You're talking to people.
Yeah,
Everybody
out there.
needs to have an experience in the food and bev.
Yes,
Everybody needs to serve tables.
Yes, you do.
Everybody should.
Because you learn respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
You learn respect. Like
for yourself.
Yeah.
Mostly. Right?
But I think that's important, and I think like I always say to people too, like introduce yourself as well. Like I think a lot of times, especially in the younger generation, like I just feel like they get so focused on the phones and like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person. Like, no. Shake your hand.
Yeah.
Do 2 fun facts about yourself. Be memorable. Send a follow-up email. Emails are important too, people. I don't know why people don't like
follow up.
Yeah. Do follow up.
Follow up.
But I would really say like find something that you really like in terms of like event, like, and just go volunteer.
Yeah.
You want to be whatever for a festival, go volunteer.
Start at ground, start at the zero.
You know, I have so many College of Charleston, not just College of Charleston, but people connect with me over LinkedIn from all over asking, you know, they've just graduated from college and they're trying to figure out, they tell me kind of what their dream job is. But you need to do so much before you land that dream job.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm like, I get people too, and I'm like, I don't really got no deep nothing for you. Go volunteer, you know, like do the hard stuff.
You never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah, you never know who you're going to meet. And I feel like our industry can sometimes be glamorized, and it's like a lot of people who have worked their butt off have really done the hard stuff, and they've been intentional, and they also love it. Like that's another thing. I love what I do. And I feel like
it shows.
What I've done has like built me up to this point. Like I really genuinely love what I do.
You're in your spot right now.
I've stayed in this community for a reason, you know. Could have gone back to Charlotte, but I really just do believe in the community, and it's growing, and it has its things, right? But
I love that.
It's growing.
I love that, and it's the fact that you kind of mentioned it under your breath. I could have been back to Charlotte. I could have, right? We could go anywhere we want, but we're here in Charleston, so I really do feel like the love story is the It is Charleston. It is,
and you have to pour into your community, and I think like that's something that's like important to me. I graduated from Leadership Charleston 2023.
I want to do that. Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And it really like helped me fine tune of like, okay, this is what I want to focus on. This is what I want to learn more about within our community. Like we visited Al Cannon, and then from Al Cannon we went to Turn 90. Have you heard of Turn 90?
Oh, yeah, I had heard of Turn 90, a nonprofit downtown,
cool.
right?
They're cool. You need to have Amy here. Amy, like,
hold on, write that down.
And the reason why she's the executive director, like, I feel like she's a marketing guru because she busted her butt to get all these grants and all these things for their organization. But basically, like, they help, once, you know, the guys get out of prison, they help with, like, job placement. They also have a print shop within their, their business. Like that's one of their business footprints, but print shop and then fulfillment. And then they help, like I said, with job placement. So they don't deduct their hours when they have to go to interviews. They help with like cognitive skills. So you have a counselor that helps you like think of like, just real life scenarios that won't land you back into jail. But anyway, I love them. But
what was
like
her name again?
Her name is Amy. I'll send you
Amy?
her. Yeah, Amy.
There's so many cool nonprofits in Charleston.
So they're so cool.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, and they do the work. And like, if you need a shirt, like Snyder gets their shirts printed from them. The museum gets their shirts printed. Like they are just really cool, and they're good. I make our team go to their facility to just like do a little tour, but it's like a good team building thing too. But they're really cool. But anyway, I love that nonprofit, and like Leadership Charleston like helped me find them.
Right.
And it's a really important organization, but you should definitely do it.
So many great nonprofits.
On the topic of nonprofits, will you talk about how you get your message across about food and wine being a nonprofit?
Yeah. Well, it is a great question, Margaret.
Well, I feel like when you guys had to pivot and, with the weather and everything going on, there were so many complaints coming out. And the messaging that you're messaging back to people about, hey, we are a nonprofit and we're doing our best. And I was just so impressed. And now I'm learning it was you the whole time. But that stuck out to me. I was just...
Thank you for recognizing that. Yeah. Because transparently speaking right now, that is my biggest job right now that I'm working on is like messaging that we're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Because before me, we did not we didn't use that as a footprint.
I don't hear it. Yeah.
We've always been a nonprofit, but the message has always been the festival.
And now that you say that, I feel like I'm seeing it more and more, the messaging.
Girl, because my back is tired because we literally have been working with just trying to get that message across, and you'll begin to see a lot of that. It's weaved in on our website and all these things, but that has been the hardest challenge in my job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just ensuring that we're getting that message across. We actually have a community impact awards on the 28th of January, and we've always done it, but we're promoting that more, and that kind of streamlines into the nonprofit piece. But it is hard.
Yeah.
And I would also say to people who are like developing a nonprofit or like need, like, you got to start with that message, because now we're in the space of we're backtracking.
Right.
And we're doing like the focus groups and all the things, and like we're literally we work with. Have you heard of Obviously Marketing?
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Great. Love them.
We just did an interview with somebody too, and she was amazing.
Maybe.
I can't remember her name. Sorry, I'll have to figure it out. But
they're amazing. But they have
great agency.
Really helped us, like, okay, y'all need to take a step back. Like, and I think sometimes like you're in it, so you don't see it. You're just trying to like sell the tickets, do the things.
Right.
Again, we're a nonprofit, so you're just trying to like market, but they have really helped us take a step back, and they've done some analysis of the organization and stuff like that. But we're in the trenches of that, just trying to get people to understand that. And I think especially because of, last year and the cancellations and all these things, right? Like that was really, really hard to get that message across. Like we are literally just trying. So,
well, you've been doing an
amazing job.
Well, thank you. That has been like.
But it's tough, like you said, when you're trying to do so much at once. You're selling the tickets, you're planning and marketing the event, and then it's easy to have that kind of get lost. Yeah, we had that happen. Then we had the summer sizzle, which we've never done. So we had summer events that we did. Again, nonprofit. So we're trying to think of these things to raise money for the organization. So this past year, 2024, like I just want to publicly shout out our team, because we have done things that we've never done, and people have worked very hard for the organization. But it's been very interesting. But yeah, I appreciate you all for recognizing that, because we have literally been trying to get that message across.
Two things. It was Kate Schmeeding.
Okay.
And she takes care of the conservation and advocacy for modern marketing. We did a great episode with her. Super smart group. And then the second thing is Margaret sees this because AMA Charleston level is also having a problem.
Yeah.
We are a nonprofit. We don't speak enough of
it. Yeah. And it's just because you're getting in those cycles of like what you're trying to push, and like we also we probably need to sidebar and like have a meeting of the minds or something, because it literally has been it's been really interesting, and it was a task that I was like, this is gonna be hard, but we literally tried. There's just like little things that we put in every email, and just trying to make sure, because like I said, we have so Angel on our team, her main focus is our externship that we do with CCSD, and basically like she's getting content and footage for that, like all these things to ensure that people like see.
CCSD is that Charleston County School District?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So she helps like our talent, so more so like chef talent, go into the schools, and they basically help teach the kids how to cook if they're in the culinary. So Wando does it. I believe Burke does it. But yeah, they have some really cool students, but like we didn't have the content from that. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you get the content?
So many moving.
Like we don't need a videography team.
Hey, you know what they say is, yes, I do know a videography team. What they say is, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
So, just throw out your ideas. You don't know what's been done before.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as they're bad ideas, right? There's no such thing as a dumb idea.
Yeah.
That's what's so fun about marketing.
Right?
Yeah.
And then speaking of bad ideas and dumb ideas, do you have any hot 2025 topics, trends, foodie type?
You're saying for bad ideas?
No, I think he's just saying like ideas.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I was
being
just
a weirdo,
sure.
of course. Give me some bad ideas.
Give me some bad. Sorry, there goes my Bravo want to say punchline again.
Say it. What is it?
Cannot. But I don't know. I think AI is like a trend. Yes. I think I know I was so against it, but just get with it. Get with it. Yeah. And like make sure that you alter it for you, your brand, your personality, your business. I think people like transparency.
Yes.
I think we're out of, are you on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
I was. I got rid of it on my phone.
Why?
It's too much.
What's too much about it?
Like I go into rabbit holes and watching.
So you liked it?
Oh yeah, I liked it too much.
It's great.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. See, that's where I do have to like I said earlier, I have like a weird relationship with social media. So like none of my social stuff notifications are on. So like that's why I'm like it's not a good way to DM me to get in contact with me.
Yep.
But then when I'm on TikTok, I'm like, this is a great app. So cool things. I like it because I feel like people are more transparent there. Like no makeup, hey, like this is me. The moms are doing their mom thing. You're showing your like life. I think it's pretty cool. So I would say like transparency is like a big thing.
Yeah.
I think people like to see the rise and the fall and all the things and like, or people like having a hard time, but like being, working their way up. So I think those are like the
so
big
even
things.
When you're saying transparency, you're more even saying putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Being vulnerable.
Perfection ain't cute anymore.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you have to show the real you. People like to see that. People also like motivation. Like just be authentic in yourself. I think that's a trend that I feel like is here to stay.
Again, maybe more of a cultural shift, hopefully, than a trend. It would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
One thing I've noticed a lot too is a lot of influencer kind of marketing for the
Yeah,
festival. I've been seeing a lot. Yeah. Are you kind of partnering with influencers, or are they just naturally posting about it because it's such
They're
a
naturally
big
posting
event?
and shout out to them. We do have a street team that we work with that we're actually making like selections when I return back to work. But they're like naturally doing it. But we work with like a street team, like a local street team that like we call them like brand ambassadors of the festival essentially, and they like get content. We share content. They give me content to post. Like it's more organic.
Yeah.
But we do work with influencers and media. Like we have photographers that'll come into town to like shoot the festival. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, we do. Wow. But right now it's like I feel like it is organic because people like, that's what I appreciate too, just about, again, building those relationships. Like people just do it and you don't have to ask them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got such an iconic product that you're pushing right now with the Wine and Food Fest, Wine Before Food.
Wine Before Food. Thank you.
So yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. Like I said, I've been to the one as a vendor. I can't wait to go to something, anything. I got to figure that out.
I have to make sure.
I'm not asking for free tickets, but
don't worry about it. Got you.
Margaret, I'm not afraid to ask.
Never be afraid to ask.
And I'll post about it too. I'll be an influencer, no problem. What else? What else is on your heart that you could share as far as like maybe a tip for an event marketer? Like, don't quit, be authentic. You've already said that. Margaret, help me out here. What am I trying to say here?
Be organized.
Be organized. How about that? Know the questions you're going to ask.
Know the questions that you're going to ask, and the art of the follow up. Follow up, okay? Like, send the email.
Yeah.
I love a scheduled, I love to schedule an email. What?
Do you?
I started doing that in 2024, and it was so nice. Yes. Wake up in the morning, kind of drink coffee, take your time, and know that emails are going out, and you're just sipping on your coffee, and that is something I'm going to continue in 2025.
Yeah. And do you
love a scheduled email?
Only check social media at a certain time? Do you only check your email at a certain time? Do you have? So, I'm not like that. I got all the things right at once. ADD and ADHD all put together.
Yeah, I can't because I can't focus on it, and then I get like this anxiety where I don't respond. I see it there, like especially with social media. I don't like it. It just like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I try to like, and if I'm in the bed, I'm like, okay, you going to bed? Like you got to stay off of social media. You can't do the thing, and I can't check it.
I'm big into reading lately. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you've been reading?
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
I don't take my phone into my room anymore when I sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, leave it outside. Yeah.
You know what I used
But
to
it's
do?
my alarm clock. So.
See that? Yeah, because I used to, which I want to do it again, but I used to put it on the other side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That was
So
like
you
a
can
big
hear
thing.
it. Wake up.
Yeah, so I want to get back to that. But yeah, something else I was going to say too. Oh yeah, but like scheduling stuff.
Yeah.
I love to schedule an email.
Yeah.
It's like it saves me. And then my biggest thing is like if I'm in my house and like I got to go to work, like I don't do work before I get to the office. I have an office in my house, but I really try to like the hours before work is like Brae time, Peloton time.
Yes.
Need to eat my eggs, shower. I want to sing, dance, all the things, and then
work.
when I go to work.
Yeah. See, I'm the guy that I check my email before the shower, after the shower. Did I miss anything? Right. So that's not good.
Boundaries. You need
2025.
boundaries.
2025.
You need
It's gonna be-
boundaries.
We're working on boundaries.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that we've talked about a lot, Brae.
We have.
Haven't we? Huh? Team? We good?
Yay.
Margaret, is there any
Brae?
other questions you have for Brae? Like, go ahead. Ask your question, Margaret, if you have one.
Do you have a question?
No, well now I
I
feel
can't
like
because I can't see you over here.
What? Okay, question. Like
Yes.
5 years.
Ooh.
What are like your
Future
big goals
Brae.
with
I like it.
Charleston Wine and Food? Are there any big
Future
Oh.
plans that
Oh,
you're
wine and food.
Wine and
Or
food
just
first,
you
and then Brae
personally.
next. Yeah.
You don't matter. Wine and food. I hope. Well, I'll say wine and food. I just hope that the organization continues to be this thing in the community that like brings people together, and like I want people to continue to see themselves in the organization, and I think that's like my 5-year dream for the organization. Brae, I'm just trying to be the best me every year, every day.
Love it.
Well,
And
you're
I'm
coming
happy.
across authentic and pretty cool to me. So thanks for coming on
Thanks.
the show,
I
Brae.
appreciate this was great.
This is fun, right?
was
We have a
great.
good
So
time.
fun.
I can go.
Maybe soon we'll have some snacks in the green room for you if we get some
Ooh.
That would
sponsors.
be cute. That would be
and
cute.
Maybe a nice little something.
Maybe
a little
maybe
experience.
we can have some experiences are good. People.
Oh wait, you know some people
I
that.
was going to say maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I can like
Well done,
connect, or
Mike.
we can like figure some things out.
I love it.
See
Thanks
what I
again,
can
Brae.
do.
How can we get a hold of you, Brae? If you want to throw yourself out, like who and
I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on social. Oh yeah, all my social media platforms,
Yeah.
Instagram and all the things. It's Brae Richardson, so BRAE, last name Richardson. Yeah, hit me up, but just not before bedtime hours.
right? Boundaries,
Right.
people. Boundaries. Thanks again, Brae.
Thank you.
Margaret, you did good.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Some great
Happy New
questions
Year.
in there. Happy New Year. This launches February 6th, though. It's going to be, almost like yesterday or tomorrow is when it launches, right? I mean, the time just flies is my point. Anyways, time flies like right now. Matt's looking at me like, you going to wrap this up or what? dude?" Before we leave, we need to talk about our sponsors, the Charleston Radio Group. Thank you very much. Oh, boy, Jerry feels good. Thanks for the beats. And, of course, the American Marketing Association. If you want to sponsor or be a guest on our show, reach out to us at podcast@charlestonama.org, and we'll get back to you. Thanks for being with us today, folks. Brae, you rocked it. Appreciate
Yay,
you.
I loved it. This was great. Now I can go to Costco and be great. Push that cart. Whew.
All right, Margaret. All right, Charleston. Talk to you next time.